Hi there, it's me. I'm CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana, across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. And wow, holidays are like right here. We've already gotten through Halloween. We've already gotten through Thanksgiving, uh, and we have Christmas, and then we have New Year's. And yay, you know. Okay, so um, yeah. I'm having, a lot of gratitude for the holidays, in spite of the topic that I'm going to be talking about, which is going to be a little difficult, but it's something that I'm right in the throes of, right in the middle of experiencing it. So I may as well talk about it, and who knows, maybe it'll do some good. I know it'll do good for me to talk about it. Now, the topic that I'm going to be talking about uh, is kind of a blanket, so if it applies for you, that's great. If it doesn't apply, that's wonderful. But I'm talking about clinical mood disturbances uh, that it may be seasonal over the holidays or whatever, that it hits people particularly hard sometimes. I'm having it, I'm experiencing my condition that I'm going to talk about in a moment. It just happens to coincide right now with this particular time, this holiday situation. It is not holiday related. That's just not related. Um, and so well, I have a situation. It's a bipolar situation, and my particular bipolar, for the most part, involves episodes of depression, with the occasional occurrence of a mania. And I've been medicated for many years, I was first diagnosed with this, and it's turned out to be true. They were able to really pin me down and get me in one spot, hold me down in one place, basically, and just look at me and talk to me about everything that's going on. And that was in 2001. Yeah, 2001, 2002, somewhere around there, when I was living in Florida. And, I went through some extensive therapy when I was down there, that I haven't really talked about. And then, of course, self managed for a while. But yeah, it does not always occur over the holidays. It just happened to happen this time. Now, it's not caused by outside situations, although sometimes outside situations can aggravate or set it off or whatever. But this really is the cause of it really is a chemical imbalance. And this chemical imbalance, like I said, is often regulated with the proper medication, which I do take and which I have much success with. However, it doesn't mean that I don't have occurrences. Uh, and basically, what the medication does is it helps those occurrences be less severe. So I don't get to escape, you know, uh, the pattern that I have. Which at the time when they diagnosed, I think the levels, there were two of them that were actively in use. That's bipolar one and bipolar two. Uh, and at the time, mine was classified as a bipolar one. That was the bipolar depression with the occasional rise in mania. And but um, they've extended the classification since then. So who knows? Whatever. I don't know. So I don't know if the number system that when I first got still apply or not. But I do know that the medication helps, and it's a non-narcotic medication, and no fringe benefits or anything. And when it does happen, the only thing there really is to do is to acknowledge it. You don't deny it. You don't turn away. You don't run away from it. You don't act ashamed. You don't have to feel ashamed when you've got something like this going on. If it's a mood disorder, or if it's just a mood upset, if the world has gotten heavy for you, you need to talk, and you need to deal with something. You don't have to feel ashamed of those feelings. I want to work on my, I don't want to just dump all my troubles on somebody, and what happens if I don't do proper acknowledgement of what's going on, then that's a risk, that, oh gee, I'll just explode or whatever. So even if this is going on over the holiday season, for me, it's just a happenstance. It's not, oh, the holidays make me sad. No, I love the holidays. This does not, I still have my joy. I'm still enjoying the holidays. I'm still enjoying this holiday season. I'm still enjoying my people, my family, my loved ones, all my friends, and I've got a lot of great friends. And a lot of us have similar type issues. If our diagnoses are not the same, a lot of us just have, stuff going on that sometimes it helps to talk about, to deal with. I think everybody's kind of got the need to be able to relate on an emotional level to other people. I think that's just, it's a good thing to have. Could we embolden ourselves and get by without it? Maybe, but I know that a lot of people don't. Those are the ones that don't feel free to talk about. I think I could be wrong on this. I'm not a doctor, but I think that who knows why people um, take the most extreme routes that they can. These are the areas in which it used to be that no matter how good things might feel for me, it used to be when I felt something like this, I would make radical, wide sweeping decisions on impulse, really, and just wreck anything and everything that was positive in my life, that could be a good thing. I self-destructed. I destroyed. You know, I didn't see it that way. I thought of it as, oh gee, I need a change. I need to get away. I need to do something. I need to escape. I'm either too bored, or I need to shake things up. And a lot of those things, it would happen. And my answer was to, yeah, just, yeah, they were not good answers. They weren't based on good sense. And today, the decisions that I have regarding these things are based in good sense. And I talk about it openly. That they don't get the best for me. When I feel a little overwhelmed, I had plans to get out tonight, but I felt a little overwhelmed. So I decided to stay home and get some rest. I'm not isolating. You wanna make sure that your people are not isolating. You want to make sure that that they're okay and that they're not isolating. I love to get out. I love to I get out. I do stuff. So that's you know uh, and when I'm not making a video like this, I have people that I can openly talk to candidly and not feel that I'm burdening them, because it helps to uh, commiserate, if that is that the word. It helps to communicate these emotions back and forth, they to me and me to them, in a non-codependent sort of way, but in a way of active listening. So it's like, hey, well, I hope this helps, but what are there positive actions we can do? And for me, it's like, wow, i need to I need to slow down for a bit, take a breath. I was gonna go out tonight, and I decided to stay in, but tomorrow night there's a party there's actually two of them going on. And I could go to one, turn around, go to another, and then turn around and go, And so I'm just going to have to go at my own pace and see how tomorrow goes. It's just, that's one of the reasons my family and I decided, we're going to do something really different. We're going to do on Christmas, we're going to really go simple. We are going to have a chili dog bar. Hot dog. You just set out the hot dogs and buns and condiments and chips. And we're just going to go real easy and simple. And the reason why is because we're doing this over at my sister's. And the reason why we thought about it, we talked about it, and it was just an idea that we threw out, and it could be something else by the time Christmas rolls around. But what happens was it's like, we just realized that we would have already done a couple of different things. So we'd be a little burnt out on turkey and ham by then. My extended family, my nieces and nephews, they would have all done their things. And everybody, we want something that's informal so that people can come in and come out real leisurely and don't feel beholden to a tradition, and we just thought that'd be really cool to go really, really light, to acknowledge that this year in particular, we just need to kind of take things easy, and I love that. But, yeah, today is just one of those days. I was just out taking care of some things, and it really just, wow. I'm really kind of feeling under it, I really am. This is, and it's not the holidays. It is a bipolar depression episode. It's going to go on for probably about a week and a half. This happens to me every, 14 to 16 months. Yeah, it's just, you deal with it and then it passes. And the thing I want to do in the meantime this is kind of like, I want to be careful with myself so that I'm being careful with other people so that I'm not sabotaging the life that I do really truly love and all the people that I really truly do love in that. Now this is not necessarily a cause, but I did have to deal with getting a weird notice on my door about the condition of the stairwells out front that I actually have no control over. I don't have children. I'm a very clean and tidy person in my apartment, especially when I know company's coming, and it's a special event. I mean, you pretty much guarantee I have, top to bottom, cleaned everything and, made everything smell nice and all that kind of good stuff, So it really, I got that whole, that notice that laid out the intent to charge all the tenants a cleaning fee. And I immediately was like, nope, I'm not paying, and I'm not, by the way. I'm holding to that. It's I'm not responsible. I really do maintain a large part of the hallway outside of my apartment just because I'm out here sweeping and cleaning anyway. So I may as well take care of the outside of my apartment, but I'm not going to be responsible for mopping stairs and I don't have a wet floor sign or something, and so somebody slipped down those stairs and break their neck or something. I'm not going to take that responsibility. I'm not bonded against that. If I were to do that, I'm not a legal employee. I wouldn't be bonded. Not gonna do that. But then of course you may know that the plan laid out that the intent was to either do that charge and or start issuing lease infractions, and after 3 lease infractions to do evictions, and I don't know if they were talking about the individual or at that point in this notice. I don't know if they were talking about the individual or if they were talking about everybody in the building. Uh, I don't know. But I did take my situation to legal aid. I did apply. They did look at it. They did feel that it was crucial enough that it was crucial enough that they open a case and accept me pro bono. Just in case there's a need for it, you know. But there are certain things that are allowed in Louisiana, and Shreveport defers to Louisiana law. And what Louisiana law dictates is that one tenant cannot be charged for damages caused by tenants that live in another unit that are unassociated with the first tenant. You know, me being that case. You know, so. And of course, then there's a whole situation called peaceful enjoyment. A leasee has the the legal right to what's called peaceful enjoyment of the thing that they are leasing. And frequent notices that are unsupported by Louisiana law may constitute disturbance of that peaceful enjoyment, as surely as it would be if the management were to just take it upon themselves to walk in without due notice and do pop-up, which they don't. There's usually like a notice. We know when they're going to do the inspections and the pest control and stuff every month. But if they didn't tell us and they just started showing up randomly without due notice, and that is a disturbance of the peaceful enjoyment that a person has when they lease a property or a thing or something, you know. And then there's a stipulation that says common areas or shared areas are the responsibility of the leaseor, you know. And there's no exception in the law laid down for that. So those are the things that we've been talking about. And it's pretty, oh, God, I hate being like that. But I think what happened was, for me, in the earlier part of the month, I got really, I'm not really a flight kind of person. You know, people have a fight or flight kind of thing. I'm not really the kind of person that like retreats from that type of situation. And so, it may have been just something that they sent around to kind of shock people, or it may have been something that they intend to try to institute. And that's something that I really needed to as Barney Fife would have said, nip it in the bud. But no, I needed to take some sort of preemptive action to ensure what can I do. And there's a lot of documentation, and that's why I made like and I hope it wasn't too annoying for you guys. I made a series of longer videos like this where I explained what was going on, but I also made some shorter videos kind of documenting what was going on. And I was like, we have custodial services that are pretty good about coming in once every couple of weeks, once a month for sure when they come in and do the pest control, but sometimes a couple of weeks, and they will do the hardwood floors out front. However, they don't do anything to those stairs that I've seen or that I've observed. So, over years, there have been spills, not by me, but because I actually document how I take my garbage out. I've gotten to the point that I secure my garbage, and I take it out underlined, uh, just to ensure there's no uh, incidental drippage. And as I'm taking it past the doors, I uphold my method, my handheld, my garbage. I just hold it up to the security camera for a few seconds and just kind of document with them. Hey, by the way, this is another way that I'm showing you my compliance uh, with my agreement to not, you know, trash the place out, essentially. So I'm just that's the best thing to do in this situation. I've been uh, told is to document just in case it's needed. Probably nothing's really going to come of it. Probably more or less that was just something, because I did call the home office, not our leasing, but I did call the home office, uh, which is and I did talk to uh, some people, and they were like, well, there's a clause in the lease that any conditions that are not uh, supported by Louisiana law, if they're not enforceable by Louisiana law, that those particular conditions or set of circumstances are null and void. And my thing is, if you know that these particular blanketed statements are null and void, that you just hold everybody accountable for the actions of some, and you know that that's not enforceable by law, is it not then a form of harassment? Is it not then a form of disturbance of the peaceful enjoyment of the leasee to enjoy the property that is leased? I have certainly felt disturbed. I think I've documented that. Of course, I may be a particularly sensitive case in this instance, but no, the people that I communicated with legally didn't think so. But I didn't mean to get off on that tangent. But that may have been one of the reasons why it kind of got me like hyped up, like super gave me some anxiety, and then my depression now may be coming off of that anxiety. Although um, the actual cause of my reaction and my depression over this situation, uh, this malaise and this just being under everything, just being really, it has a lot to do with simply just being bipolar, and you know, having conversations with others, not yes, professional people, but also people who are experts in me, because they've known me, and I'm quite open and candid about my uh, about my bipolar issues, not to wear it as a button on my sleeve or anything like that. It's just that there is no reason to feel shame or have stigma over over any sort of issue with the mental health, ever, ever. That stigma will have people hide it, will have people not talk about it. And the best example that I can give is to have honest dialogue and honest conversation. Find the people that you can talk to and talk to them, before it turns into an emotional explosion. And there are some times when I haven't done that, and it's like, well, and it's like, and then everything's way just disproportionate. But this is kind of a disease in which, if not managed and if not dealt with, it is a disease of proportion, where little bitty things that maybe shouldn't matter so much do matter. And then the big monumental crises that show up, maybe we'll tend to just turn away and ignore them and not deal with them, because it's a disease of perception sometimes. But in the case of the notices from my property management, I felt like it was crucial enough to deal with, and I feel it was quite appropriate that I reach out, not to instigate action against my property management. That's not what I was going after, and that's not what I'm doing now. There's nothing like that on the table at all. No, 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 no. I'm not that. I'm not that kind of person. What I am looking for basically is a better definition of what the legal terms are that determine the situation under which I have contracted to live, But anyway, if you have ever any sort of situation where you're feeling depressed, you don't ever have to feel ashamed. And you should find someone to talk. And there are helplines everywhere. There are people to talk to. And the hardest thing to do sometimes would be to reach out to anybody personally and say, this is going on. And maybe I don't know why. Maybe I don't know why. Maybe I do. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I'm not okay. I'm hurting emotionally, and I'm trying to work through. And not to get on a whiny thing and talk about it incessantly or anything like that, but to have a constructive conversation. It can help, and it can help find answers. Mostly, you just don't have to sit with these things alone, A lot of people at various different times in the world, in their lives or whatever, what am I trying to say? Just anyone can feel moments of depression, moments of anxiety, fear. And sometimes there's those things in real life that warrant these emotions. When you're bipolar and you're having a bipolar episode, those emotions will come even if there's nothing out there that warrants these emotions. The excitement of the holidays can bring that on, but typically I don't have this. Typically I don't have depression over the holidays. I used to a lot when I was in my mid-20s, going into my early 30s. There was a season there where I was just kind of depressed a lot, but I was living away from home, and I was kind of like one man feeling like an island. And then, of course, I've got diagnosed, and boy, did that really change. Just getting some understanding and some suggestions. Did it really start to? And all the changes didn't happen all at once. All the changes did not happen all at once, but they did start to happen now. I'm going to say that I have not had alcohol or drugs or any salacious type. And my medication, they give me no fringe benefits. I don't get high off my medication or anything. I don't even get drowsy off of them. I can't even like get a good like little pill buzz going on. There's nothing like that, Okay, so, but I have been clean from those types of drugs for 17 years. In December 31st is that was the day of clarity for me. So I just say that that's my clean date. That's I don't know. There are a couple of days there where things come in and out of focus, and it's a little bit of a haze. But it was that 31st of December that year that I had some that I really was just off the merry-go-round. I was like, you know what, I'm done with, So that, when we get a little close, addicts, when we get a little close to our recovery anniversary, sometimes we also get a little emotional. And there's probably some of that going on too, uh, coupled with it. So no wonder. Jeez. See, talking about things, making a little video sometimes, or finding a friend to talk to. I didn't want to go and I didn't want to go to friends that were like right in the middle of a good time tonight when I was feeling particularly sad, particularly kind of morose, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to bring those energies into their celebration. So I decided to stay home and get some rest because a big part of this was just, needing rest to slow down and take a beat, and so that tomorrow I will be better rested and better prepared. It's kind of like, you go through a 2-minute bout with your opponent, and then you got to go to the corner and you got to rest up a minute before you get back out into that world again. So that's what I'm doing tonight. But yeah, much love and peace and enjoyment. And yeah, I wish you all happy holidays, love and light. Ciao, Bella. Good night.